Hey, you. A Wizard of Earthsea. Chapter 3, Part 3. The last sentence. And Jed followed, sullen and sore-hearted, knowing he had behaved like a fool and blaming Jasper for it. That night, as he lay wrapped in his cloak on the mattress in his cold unit cell of stone, in the utter silence of the great house of Roke, the strangeness of the place and the thought of all the spells and sorceries that had been working there began to come over him heavily. Darkness surrounded him. Dread filled him. He wished he were anywhere else but Roke. But Vetch came to the door, a little bluish ball of warrior light nodding over his head to light the way, and asked if he could come in and talk for a while. He asked Jed about Gaunt, and then spoke fondly of his own home isles, of the East Reach, telling how the smoke of village hearth fires is blown across that quiet sea at evening, and between the small islands with funny names. Corp, Cop, Hulp, Venway and Veemish, Iffish, Coppish, and Sneg. When he sketched the shapes of those lands on the stones of the floor with his finger to show Jed how they lay, the lines he drew shone dim as if drawn with a stick of silver for a while before they faded. Vetch had been here 3 years at the school, and soon would be made a sorcerer. He thought no more of performing the lesser arts of magic than a bird thinks of flying. Yet a greater, unlearned skill he possessed, which was the art of kindness. That night, and always from then on, he offered and gave Jed friendship. A sure and open friendship which Jed could not help but return. Yet Vetch was also friendly to Jasper, who had made Jed into a fool that first day on Roke Knoll. Jed would not forget this, nor, it seemed, would Jasper, who always spoke to him with a polite voice and a mocking smile. Jed's pride would not be slighted or condescended to. He swore to prove to Jasper, and all the rest of them among whom Jasper was something of a leader, how great his power really was. Someday. For none of them, for all their clever tricks, had saved a village by wizardry. No, none of them had had Ogayan written. None of them had Ogayan written that he would be the greatest wizard of Gaunt. So bolstering up his pride, he set all his strong will on the work they gave him, the lessons and crafts and histories and skills taught by the great cloaked masters of Roke. Who were called the Nine. Part of each day, he studied with the Master Chanter, learning the deeds of heroes and the lays of wisdom, beginning with the oldest of all songs, the creation of Aya. Then, with a dozen other lads, he would practice with the Master Windkey at arts of wind and weather. Whole bright days of spring and early summer they spent out in Roke Bay on light catboats, practicing steering by word and stilling the waves and speaking to the world's wind and raising up the mage wind. These are very intricate skills, and frequently Jed's head got whacked by the swinging boom as the boat jibed under a wind suddenly blown backwards, or his boat and another collided by blowing backwards. Collided though they had the whole bay to navigate in, or all 3 boys in his boat went swimming unexpectedly as the boat was swamped by a huge unintended wave. There were quieter expeditions ashore, other days, when the Master Herbal who taught the ways and properties of things that grow, and the master hand taught sleight and jugglery and the lesser arts of changing. At all these studies Jed was apt, and within a month was bettering lads who had been a year at Roke before him. Especially the tricks of illusion came to him so easily that it seemed he had been born to knowing them, and needed only to be reminded. The master hand was a gentle and light-hearted old man, who had endless delight in the wit and beauty of the crafts he taught. Jed soon felt no awe of him, but asked him for this spell and that spell, and always the master smiled and showed him what he wanted. But one day, having it in his mind to put Jasper to shame at last, Jed said to the master hand in the court of seeming, "Sir, all these charms are much the same. Knowing one, you know them all. And as soon as the spell weaving ceases, the illusion vanishes. Now if I make a pebble into a diamond," and he did so, with a word and a flick of his wrist, "what must I do to make that diamond remain diamond? How is the changing spell locked and made to last?" The master hand looked at the jewel that glittered on Jed's palm, bright as the prize of a dragon's hoard. The old master murmured one word, "Tolk," and there lay the pebble. No jewel, but a rough, gray bit of rock. The master took it and held it out in his hand. "This is a rock. Tolk in the true speech," he said, looking mildly up at Jed now. "A bit of stone of which Roke Isle is made, a little bit of the dry land on which men live. It is itself. It is part of the world. But the illusion change, you can make it look like, by illusion change, you can make it look like a diamond, or a flower, or a fly, or an eye, or a flame." The rock flickered from shape to shape as he named them, and returned to rock. "But that is mere seeming. Illusion fools the beholder's senses, and makes him see and hear and feel that the thing is changed. But it does not change the thing. To change this rock into a jewel, you must know its true name. And to do that, my son, even to so small a scrap of the world, is to change the world. It can be done. Indeed, it can be done. It is the art of the master changer, and you will learn it when you are ready to learn it. But you must not change one thing, one pebble, one grain of sand, until you know what good and evil will follow on that act. The world is in balance, in equilibrium. A wizard's power of changing and of summoning can shake the balance of the world. It is dangerous, that power. It is most perilous. It must follow knowledge and serve need. To light a candle is to cast a shadow." He looked down at the pebble again. "A rock is a good thing, too, you know," he said, speaking less gravely. "If the Isles of Earthsea were all made of diamond, we'd lead a hard life here. Enjoy illusions, lad, and let the rocks be rocks." He smiled, but Jed left dissatisfied. Press a mage for his secrets and he would always talk, like O'Gyan, about balance and danger in the dark. But surely a wizard, one who had gone past these childish tricks of illusion to the true arts of summoning and change, was powerful enough to do what he pleased, and balance the world as seemed best to him, and drive back darkness with his own light. In the corridor he met Jasper, who, since Jed's accomplishments began to be praised about the school, spoke to him in a way that seemed more friendly, but more scoffing. "You look gloomy, Sparrowhawk," he said now. "Did your juggling charms go wrong?" Seeking, as always, to put himself on equal footing with Jasper, Jed answered the question, ignoring its ironic tone. "I'm sick of juggling," he said. Sick of these illusion tricks, fit only to amuse idle lords in their castles and domains. The only true magic they've taught me yet on Roke is making wear-light, and some weatherworking. The rest is mere foolery. Even foolery is dangerous, said Jasper, in the hands of a fool. At that, Jed turned as if he had been slapped and took a step towards Jasper. But the older boy smiled as if he had not intended any insult, nodded his head in a stiff and graceful way, and went on. That's all for tonight. Good night, River.